So I know what you're thinking. Quinoa, isn't that some sort of hippie thing that people in California eat? And I would say no, it's actually quite good. Not only is it light and fluffy and nutty and takes in all the flavors of the stuff you're cooking with, but it's full of minerals and vitamins and fiber, protein, boom. It's all around great stuff. So we are going to make a very simple yet nutritious meal with quinoa. Well, for our quinoa bowls, let's start with the quinoa. And normally you'd want to rinse this off, but the fine people at Costco, where I bought this from, it says it's pre-washed. There's no need to rinse, and who am I to doubt them? So I'm going to measure 1.5 cups. For every cup of quinoa, you use 2 cups of water. So I'm using 1.5 cups. So I'm going to use 3 cups of water. Although actually we're going to use a broth for a little bit more flavor. So what's this broth? The broth is this better than bouillon that I also got from my friends at Costco. And you mix in 1 teaspoon for every cup of water. I have 3 cups of water, right? Because we have 1.5 cups of quinoa, so we need 3 cups of water. And then I'm going to carefully measure out 3 teaspoons. Oh, there we go. And this water's hot because I find that this bouillon stuff doesn't really dissolve that well in regular water. Not that it really matters because we're going to put it all on the stove to boil. But it's a good start. So it's about 3 cups. I add it to my pre-washed quinoa. And then throw it on the stove and bring it to a boil. You'll see there's still a little goop. Get in there, goop. All right, let's put it on the stove. With the quinoa, all we're doing is bringing it to a boil and then turn it down to simmer for 15 minutes, very much like making rice. So it's kind of boiling. Let me turn it down and say, hey Google, set a timer for 15 minutes.
Sure, 15 minutes. And we're starting now.
The future's amazing. We'll cut up 2 bell peppers. These just happen to also be from our friends at Costco. Probably their bioengineering lab. Look how big these things are. Anyway, we'll cut them up into bite-sized pieces. What? Somebody take that film editing software away from this guy. He is too powerful. We also need a red onion cut up into bite-sized pieces because we're going to take this onion and the pepper and the broccoli and we're going to roast it all together. So we're going to cut this into bite-sized pieces. And this is not from Aldi. This is from Walmart. I'm starting to get a little suspicious of Aldi quality produce. Starting to become a Walmart guy. Anyway, let's chop this up. I'm supposed to cut these into bite-sized pieces, which I'm not sure exactly what that is. Because I normally don't bite into a red onion, but maybe that. When I looked at all the red onions on the chopping board, I said, that's a lot of red onions. So I went with half. Now you can't see, but I threw half of the red onions into my bowl of peppers and I'll put the rest in this fun measuring cup to use later for something. Okay, let's get the broccoli. Now you might be saying, Tom, pre-cut broccoli florets like those Hollywood movie stars use? Did you hit the lotto or something? No, I got this from Walmart and it's all they were selling. They didn't have the whole broccoli thing. So, I mean, it was more expensive, but it is awful convenient. But we're supposed to wash these before we use it. That's what the packaging says. So I'll wash them off and we'll get to work. It's been 15 minutes and you can see the quinoa is all absorbed all the broth and is light and fluffy. I'm ready to go. Easy peasy. So let's put this to the side and continue to work on the broccoli. And turn the stove off. Okay, let's put it all together. Broccoli, the peppers and red onion. And we'll put some olive oil on there or avocado oil, whatever I got. It's gonna be avocado oil. I always put too much on. And I know that, but then I go ahead and put too much on anyway. So I'll mix this up so it's all coated with too much avocado oil. We have paprika. We have paprika, 1 teaspoon, garlic powder, half a teaspoon. We have some cumin. That's right, we don't mess around. Another half a teaspoon. We'll throw in some salt, about a half a teaspoon. And this pepper is unique because it's not from Costco, Aldi, or Walmart. This is actually DJ's pepper. We like to represent all the stores in our area. I'll put in a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Mix that all together. Put it out on our cookie sheet. I mean, look how colorful. You know that's good for you. I should cut that up. Let me do some quick work here. Makes it look like you have more. I'm gonna roast this at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna do one more thing I'm not too sure about. I'm going to roast these garbanzo beans or chickpeas, whatever you call them. So there's like a crunchy top for our quinoa bowl. I don't know if I'll be able to roast them successfully or if I'll just burn them up. And I'm not going to bother to take that skin off them, so I don't know how that's going to affect the flavor, but let's find out. I read the key to crispy chickpeas is that they have to be dry. So this is my attempt at drying them. Now I'll put them in this bowl. Add a little oil. You know what? I'm going to put it into this bowl since this has all the oil and seasonings and whatnot. I know, super clever cooking tip there that I just made up. Put it on this tray, and I still think I'm gonna burn it, so I'm gonna watch it real carefully as I roast it at 400 degrees in my toaster oven. The quinoa is cooked, the vegetables are roasting for 20 minutes. That's the stove coming up to temperature. And I'm burning the chickpeas in the toaster oven. Nothing to do now but do the dishes and get the kitchen cleaned up. I'm going every few minutes, shaking these around. Keeping an eye on them. So here's the roasted vegetables. And here's the roasted chickpeas, which turned out pretty nice. And I didn't mention that we're gonna have some chicken. We bought a rotisserie chicken the other day, so that makes it really easy. And then you just piece it together. So I mean, kind of straightforward from here, right? Put some quinoa in your decorative bowl, scoop in some roasted vegetables, and then you sprinkle some chicken on top. And then if you're daring, you top it off with a few crunchy garbanzo beans. This is like some Blue Zone delicacy here. So that's it, a straightforward, delicious meal. Easy to make and quick, and your family will love it. So try it out. Let me know in the comments what you think. I think I'll hand it to my wife and see what she says. Okay, what's your official verdict?
I like it. Very good. I like how colorful it is. And it's very delicious.